$90 billion gets left on the table every year because 89% of small business owners actually don't apply to small business grants. Small business grants is literally free money that you can use to start your business or scale the business you currently have. So I just noticed that my mic wasn't working. What I was saying before, you guys, is $90 billion actually get left on the table, and 89% of small business owners don't go for small business grants. It's literally free money that you can use to start your business or scale the business you currently have. You can use this funding towards payroll. You can use this funding towards whatever your business needs the money for. Some of you all are going for business debts like loans, lines of credit, and credit cards, and you're actually finding that it's quite harder than you thought it was to get approved to a small business loan. You got to have things like the credit, assets, and have all of these documents that you have to provide in order for you to get at least $10,000 in a small business loan. But with small business grants, all you have to do is prove to them the reasons for why your business needs this free money. And your business deserves this free money. $90 billion gets left on the table. 89% of you all are not applying to the small business grant funding, but that's okay because you are actually joining me live tonight. That means that you are actually interested in submitting grants on your own and you no longer want to be a part of that 89%. I'm Superior Shelby. I'm a 71% successful grant writer. I've been writing grants and winning millions of dollars in grants for the last 11 years. I've been talking about grants and giving you guys free game, free information here on YouTube for the last 7 years. I'm so happy that you're joining me. Make sure you like, share this live stream, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm going to answer all of your questions and curiosities about what a grant is for your small business, how you can find them, and how you actually can answer the questions so you can win. Any questions or concerns that you might have about small business grants, I want you to drop them in the chat, and I'm here for you for free live on YouTube to answer any of your questions, okay? So welcome in, friends. If this is not your first time seeing me, hey friend, I'm so happy that you are joining me here. I'm so blessed to have you with me today. I hope you are having a great start to the second month of 2026. Happy Black History Month to all of my Black American entrepreneurs. I'm so happy that you guys are here. There is tons of grants out here for you, and I recorded some really good short videos that you guys can enjoy and learn about some more grants that you can go for, okay? Now, if you have actually applied to a grant before, go ahead and drop that in the chat. I want to know who I'm talking to in this live stream. I want to know exactly what your experience is like. But if you have never applied to a small business grant, it's A-okay. I'm going to tell you exactly what a small business grant is. A small business grant is a reward that you can actually get. It's usually in the form of money or resources or tools that you might need to help your business start or scale. Now, you can get this free grant money from like your other big business entities, like companies like Apple, Google, and Amazon. They actually give out grant opportunities to small business owners like you and I. You can also get this free grant money from your state and local governments, as well as other private investors and private foundations that help startups and small business owners have funding resources. Places like I Fund Women or Hello Skip that give out multiple $10,000 grants throughout the entire year. Why would you continue to waste your time in going for other opportunities or not allowing your business to truly have the funding it deserves by just sitting on these grant opportunities? Most small business owners don't go for small business grants because either one, you actually don't know about these opportunities. Two, you might feel like it's a waste of your time. And three, you simply don't have the time to submit the grant applications, and it's A-okay. If you have the mindset that applying to small business grants is actually not worth your time, let me go ahead and rebuttal that for you. Applying to small business grants comes with so much more resources and tools that you can actually use to scale your business. Sometimes you can even get like a free LLC, you get community support, you can get technical support, and they will also give you like the direct things or supplies and equipment that you need to enhance the quality of your services and products. So even if you don't win the grand prize for, let's say, $100,000, you still get all of the additional in-kind services, perks and deals that you can actually use to help you scale your business, especially things like marketing ad credits. So many of us are saying that we need small business grant funding, or we just need funding in general because we want to invest this funding into marketing. Well, let's say you have a marketing budget or strategy that's about $15,000 a month. Imagine applying to a Google grant that's going to give you $150,000 in Google ad credit, which will allow you to use Google, the Google platform itself, which is the #1 search engine in the world. And you can use that ad credit towards your marketing strategy, right? So applying to the grant is actually not a waste of time, even if you don't win the grand prize. It's very important that you choose high probability grants. High probability grants is just a fancy way of saying choosing grants that you most likely would win. Okay? And I'm going to tell you in this live stream exactly how to do that. So don't worry, stick with me, okay? Now, and then some of you guys actually don't have the time to submit the grant application, and that is okay. I offer the service that is super affordable to simply search and apply to grants for you. So if that is something you're interested in, you can always click the link in my description. I'll go ahead and drop my booking link. It's $50, super affordable. I can tell you all of the grants that you qualify for, how to actually prepare for them, and how my service works and how much it costs. But also, if you want something a little bit more like affordable and you are actually ready to go right now, I have about 4 grants for all small business owners, no matter what ethnic group, sexuality you're a part of, no matter what business industry you're in, or what part of the United States you're in. There's about 4 grants that's available right now that you can apply to right now, or I can as well. I will apply to these grants for you for just $37 each. Each application costs $37 for me to submit it. So if you are actually interested in the $37 Grantfully deal, all you have to do is text the word Grantfully to my number, which is actually in the chat. I linked it right in the chat at the top, okay? So let's move forward. You know what a grant is. It's free money that you can get. There's actually no credit checks, so that's what's awesome about it. You don't have to worry about any credit inquiries, which when you get credit inquiries, we all know that actually drives down your credit score, not allowing you to have more credit options out there. So you don't have to worry about any of those credit checks. You also don't have to worry about providing your personal information like your social security number, because these are small business grant opportunities. In most cases, the small business grant applications would ask you, the general information. So who's the business owner? What's the address? What's the business name? What's the business type? Is it an LLC, a S Corp, or a C Corp? And then they also want to know, who do you serve? How much money are you needing? What are you needing this money for? And how is this grant funding going to be impactful towards your community that you're serving? That is actually not hard for you to answer. And then with ChatGPT being out here, I know some of you guys are actually using the AI to help you with answering the questions. While there's no problem with that, be very strategic in how you prompt ChatGPT. Never go into your grant application, simply copy the question, and then paste that question inside of your ChatGPT or AI prompt. Because what's happening is that the AI is actually spitting out the AI's answer. But the grantors are looking for your storyline. They want to know exactly why or what happened that caused you or influenced you to actually start this business. So if you only use AI's answer, then AI is actually not going to give your storyline. So make sure you are being very direct, detailed, and strategic on your AI prompts, so that way the AI can actually spit out the answer that best tells your story, that gives a lot of details, and is still professional and polished as you need it to be. But for those of you who just simply don't have the time to do all of that, go to ChatGPT or even stop and search and apply to grants. That's okay. I'll do it all for you, okay? All right, so I want to know in the chat, have you actually applied to a grant before? I'm so excited to know what's going on. I want to say hey to all of my friends in the chat, and then we're going to move forward. I'm going to tell you exactly where I find these small business grants, how you can actually go ahead and submit the grant applications. I do want to share my screen here today as well, because I want to show you a really quick grant that you guys can apply to. Is that okay? Cool. So thanks everybody for being in the chat. I'm so happy that you are here with me. First off, hey, how are you guys? Thanks so much for being in here. Hey sis, I'm working on my property preservation business. That's so good. I hope you're actually applying to grants. So one thing I noticed is that a lot of small business owners, out of that 89%, there is a percentage of you guys who are in your startup phases who are not going for these opportunities because you actually feel like you are not ready for these opportunities. Things on the grant application qualifications might scare you, Like, let's say one of the qualifications on a grant opportunity might say you have to be in business at least 2 years. You have to make a certain amount of annual revenue. You have to have a certain amount of employees. Well, don't allow that to scare you. There's still plenty of more opportunities out here that you can actually go for. So if you have been telling yourself, I'm going to wait on going for business funding because I know I'm not ready, what you're actually doing is you're not allowing yourself to actually go for opportunities that are on the table that you can go for. You never know when you actually get a chance at winning one of these grants. And yes, I said win. Keep in mind that the definition of a grant is a reward that you can get that's usually in the form of in-kind services or money. Rewards are actually earned. So there's different ways that you can actually win a grant. I'll get into that in just a moment. But first, let me go ahead and say that I actually use these three main websites to actually find grants, okay? Number one, if you are starting your grant writing journey, you've never searched for grants before, then I would highly recommend using like HelloSkip. HelloSkip is an app that you can actually download. So go ahead and download HelloSkip. You can use my invite code Superior Shelby, all in one word, and you'll have access to so many grants that they have on their dashboard. Now, it is not a grant search engine, so you can't just Google search any grants through this platform. But it is a platform that offers funding opportunities and resources to help you move forward. So go ahead and download the HelloSkip app. It's blue and white, and have at it. Okay, you can apply to the grants that serve your favorite and that align with your business mission. Now, the second website that I use is grantwatch.com. Grantwatch.com is a $50 a month subscription. Grantwatch.com is not free. HelloSkip is free, but grantwatch.com is not. However, GrantWatch is my favorite grant search engine. There's thousands of grants in that platform that you can find for so many different reasons. Whether you are a Black-owned company, a woman entrepreneur, you are into energy saving, or you're into a health business. Let's say you have a home health care agency, a cleaning business, a trucking business, or whatever have you. You can find all of those grants that serve your business, that aligns with your business mission in grantwatch.com. Now, in order for you to have access to the application link, the details of the grant, like who qualifies for it, things like that, you would actually have to pay the $50 a month subscription. So keep that in mind, okay? So grantwatch.com. I'll go ahead and put it here on the screen if you guys need it. So that way you guys can, you'll be able to, let me see, grantwatch.com. And you can be able to visit there, okay? So I'll put it here in the chat for you. And I'll also put it up here on the screen, okay? So grantwatch.com, so worth it, $50 a month. If you don't want to pay the $50 a month, they do have a cheaper option, which is $22 a week. So you do have that opportunity, okay? Use the grant search engine, the AI tool, to be able to find grants that serve in your favor. And then go ahead and create your own like grant list or grant spreadsheet, okay? Sorry, guys. My brother was calling me. All right, so moving forward. All right, so I did put Grant Watch here in the chat. It should be up here down below. Grantwatch.com. It's $50 a month. Keep that in mind. That is the best grant search engine to use. Now, lastly, if you are an established business, you like doing big community projects, well, grants.gov is going to be your best friend. It is a free government website that shows you all of the federally funded grants and state funded grants that you can find. It's grants.gov, okay? Now, you can visit grants.gov. Keep in mind that you will have to be a seasoned business. I would say a business that's at least like 2 years or older, really 5 years or older, that has establishments. You already have sales, things like that, okay? Because it's from the federal government, so they want to make sure that you are properly established, okay? All right, so I asked you guys if you have ever applied to grants before. Our friend says, yes, I apply for 2 to 3 grant applications per week. HelloSkip is my favorite, and I have referred a few entrepreneurs to HelloSkip, and one also won a $1,000 grant. Okay, thanks so much for letting us know, friend. And that is so great that you did that. I really do appreciate you for spreading the grant information. Let's continue to spread this information out so more and more entrepreneurs can learn about small business grant opportunities, getting a free $1,000 that you never had, that you didn't have in your bank account once before, free money that you don't have to worry about paying back. It's absolutely awesome. Anybody would love some free money. Okay, so I'm so happy that you were able to recommend it to your friend and they won one of the Hello Skips $1,000 instant grant. So shout out to you for giving them that good free information. All right, so let's move forward. So you know what a grant is? Grants is free money that you can get, from any other business entity, from a private foundation, and also state and local funded grants. You can find a lot of state and local funded grants by simply doing a Google search. So you can go to Google and you can say, find me grants located in my specific county for women-owned businesses. Then what Google will do is bring up different foundations that actually offer, state-funded grants that you can go for. You want to make sure you look at what the entire grant mission is about, what the qualifications are, and who they're looking to fund. Okay, so that will reassure you if that grant is for you or if that program is for you as well. Okay, you don't want to waste your time applying for opportunities that don't align with your business vision. Okay, that actually decreases your chances of approvals. Speaking of chances of approvals, going for high probability grants and high quality grants is very important. Most small business owners actually don't win grants is because you guys are going for grants that we post on Instagram or we talk about on social media. And a lot of these grants that we actually talk about on social media is for all businesses across the entire United States or in the entire world. Okay. And so that means that it increases the competition with those type of grants. I'll give you an example. The new $25,000 UPS grant, I can bring it up here. This particular grant is let me see, $25,000 UPS grant. This particular grant is literally for all businesses. And the only thing about this grant is that it is because it's for all businesses, there's going to be on average 2,000 applications that's going to be submitted for this particular grant opportunity. You understand? So it's very important that you go for those start with going for state funded grants first before you decide to go for these grants. Okay. Oh, I can't bring it up. Sorry, it won't come up. So keep that in mind. Also, when we're talking about the difference between, going for those state funded grants and also going for nationwide opportunities, well, a lot of the nationwide opportunities, the small business challenge, like the $25,000 UPS grant, or all of those other grants that come from those big companies like Macy's and Sephora and Apple and Amazon and Hello Skip gives out a $10,000 grant. Keep in mind of the winners, or take a look at the past winners. You can actually take a look at the past winners from 2025 and 2024 and older, and you can reassure yourself on the business types that they actually like to fund. So let's say, for example, you come across a $100,000 annual grant opportunity for all, let's say, women entrepreneurs. Okay. You might see that their past winners are winners that have businesses that are in the tech space or in the beauty space or in the health tech space, fintech space, education, right? But let's say your business is a cleaning business and it's not really, into tech. Let's say your business is a trucking business. Let's say your business is a home healthcare agency, but you don't plan on developing your own health tech type of app or anything like that. Well, then your chances of actually getting approved for that grant might be a little bit lower because they are consistent with actually choosing those winner types. Okay. Also, I would love for you guys to do the actual deep dive and research when you are actually applying to the grant. And this is going to be a key. So make sure you take this key. Okay. The key tip to this also, when we're looking at the past winners, is actually going through their pitch videos and going to their social media platforms. See how they actually present themselves on the internet. Now, you can tell when a business has been operating for a while. You can tell by how many followers they have and how often they do certain giveaways and things like that. So all of that is actually posted on their social media channels. And then also you'll be able to reassure yourself in that moment based off of how long the company's been open and so forth, that they are definitely generating sales. So if you are a startup or a small business that has not started generating sales yet, and you actually don't have as much growth as your competitors, then keep that in mind as well. The big nationwide grants, your competitors are actual seasoned businesses who are making sales and who are doing well. While I'm not saying that to discourage you, friend, still apply to those nationwide opportunities, because sometimes it works like a raffle. They might just randomly pick you out the bunch, and then boom, you are awarded a $25,000 opportunity. So I'm not saying don't apply to those opportunities, but I'm saying be mindful of the nationwide opportunities having more competition versus going for state funded grant opportunities. State and local funded grant opportunities are locally funded by your state, right? So your state would actually get federal funding, let's say like $100 million, to give away to multiple counties and cities and towns in your particular state. And let's say your state has received, like say $1 million, where they can give out multiple $10,000 grants or $100,000 grants. Okay, so um, you applying for that particular grant opportunity that's in your county or in your small town, you have a higher chance at actually getting approved. A lot of those grants work like first come, first serve opportunities. So as long as you simply apply, provide all the documentations and meet the qualifications, you simply get the money. There's really not much competition to it. Now, if you live in a big metropolitan city like myself, like if you are based in Miami, Florida, like my business is based in Miami, Florida, you're based in somewhere in New York, let's say I'm in a big city in Texas or in Atlanta, Georgia, in California, like LA. Well, the big metropolitan cities, we actually experience a lot more what's called pitch competitions. While we do have those first come, first serve opportunities, they also like to do pitch competitions as well, because they want you to get the recognition that you deserve as well, right? They want to make sure that they're funding a business that's going to be truly impactful to the community. So they would do a pitch competition, but don't be afraid of a pitch competition, okay? Especially if you plan to build a big company, you plan to build like $100 million annual type of company. Well, you need to get ready for pitches. You actually need to get very acquainted and very comfortable with pitching, because eventually you're going to have to pitch in front of not only grant judges but also like investors. Okay, so if you plan on building a big enterprise, $100 million type of company, well, you're going to have to buckle in for pitches. Okay, and you actually should be doing things like pitch decks and pitch videos, have an executive summary, so you can already be properly and professionally prepared for those type of investment capital opportunities. Okay, investment capital is a whole nother opportunity in situation. If you guys want me to talk about that, I can, because I do have experience, and even myself, I'm going for investment capital for Grantfully. So we can talk about that towards the end. Just let me know in the chat, okay? All right, so I want to know in the chat who has actually won a grant. If you've applied to grants, if you have never won a grant before, I want you to tell me now in the chat and what you think the reason for why you actually never won a grant, okay? So just let me know in the chat, okay? All right, thanks so much for you guys joining. Make sure you like the live stream as you're coming in, so that way the YouTube algorithm can push it out to all of the rest of the subscribers and all of the other entrepreneurs who don't know this information, okay? All right, so high probability grants. You know that you need to make sure you go for grants that are like, be mindful of like the nationwide opportunities, higher competition, state funded grant opportunities. You get like, it's like a first come, first serve opportunity. It's kind of higher chance of winning. Also, when you're choosing a high probability grant, one of the ways that you can make sure that this grant is perfect for you and you align with the grant mission is reading the actual grant introductory page. I know that sounds like, duh, Shelby. Of course, I'm going to read the information and make sure I qualify for it. But it goes much, much deeper and further than just reading what's on the surface and on the introductory page. Towards the end of the page, there's a terms and conditions, which is going to open up a PDF form or a separate site that will give you all of the details about the grant, much deeper than what's actually on the introductory page. It will tell you things like what is the grant's timeline. So when do they plan to actually review the application, do a judgment, and then actually announce the winners, right? And then you also have what's called a grant grading scale, right? So they would tell you exactly what they're looking for directly in your answers. It's usually something like, is your application like fully complete? So you get graded on that. can you or did you in your answers clearly identify what your entire mission is? Are you going to be impactful to your community? And can you show a need for the grant? Showing the need for the grant is explaining exactly how you would use the grant funds. Okay, so they would actually tell you in the terms and conditions on exactly what they're looking for in your answers. You want to make sure your answers are hitting those key points directly, and you want to make sure that the keywords that you're using in your answers actually align with the grant mission. Now, the grant mission is going to be on the introductory page. So use keywords and key sentences from out of that actual mission, put it inside of your answers, and then you will have a really good polished answer that's going to help increase your chances of approvals. Another thing is, I know some of you guys might be submitting your grant applications without having a pitch video, an executive summary, or a business plan, or even a pitch deck. And some of these, matter of fact, a lot of these grants in 2026, they're going to require you to have a 1 to 2 minute pitch video. A pitch video is so vital in these digital times. A pitch video essentially is like a commercial about your business, but it goes a little bit deeper into that. You need to explain exactly, first off, introduce your company and who you are to the company. You also need to talk about what your company does and why it does it, and how impactful the company is or your product and service is to the community that you're serving, and how you would actually scale, like how you would be even more impactful if you were awarded your a grant opportunity or the funding that you're requesting. So a pitch video is very, very vital to increasing your chances of approvals. While some of these grant applications allow you to have that option to submit the grant application without having a pitch video, it also decreases your chances of approvals or actually winning the grant, because your competition most likely has a pitch video. For every business I start, I actually have my own pitch video, and I have a separate YouTube video that explains to you exactly how to do a pitch video, so you guys have more than enough chances to go and take a look at that video that I recorded last year. Okay. All right, awesome. So yeah, have any of you guys won a grant before? Just let me know in the chat. I did not see anybody respond. Did you win a grant before? Go ahead and drop it in the chat. If not, don't be afraid. Just go ahead and let us know if you have won a grant or if you have not. Okay. All right. So high probability grants, you know what that looks like. You know what you need to do. Okay. You know how to find grants. I told you the main 3 grant search engines and search sites that I use. And I also told you exactly what a grant is. Do I have any questions about how to search and apply to grants, what a grant is, any questions that you guys might have, what your experience is? I want you to also drop it in the chat. I want you to be able to use me at your advantage right now for free. If you don't have any questions, I want to thank you so much for just tuning in. But I also want to know, I have a question for you. Why tune in, right? Why are you actually tuning in to my YouTube live stream right now? What is it that you are hoping to get out of tuning into the live stream? I love interaction in the chat, so let's have a conversation. Okay, in this part of the live stream, I'm just going to simply ask you guys questions. This is the Q&A part, so I want you guys to ask me any questions that you might have. Okay, I went over some grants earlier today, and let me see. I'll see if I can kind of pull them up. But before I do that, I just want you guys to go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. While you are doing that, keep in mind that we had a really great conversation yesterday towards the end of the live stream, and I was talking to you guys about the importance of knowing how business is, very spiritual, but it's also important for you to have ambition for your business as well. I think it's very important that you keep your hopes alive and your faith alive in your business. Some people have a real hard challenge with being afraid of what others would say, being afraid to put themselves out there, and then also just allowing the economic times to influence you. Let me tell you, if you continue to allow what's going on in the world to control your actions, you are never going to allow yourself to be the greatest version of yourself. Things will always continue to happen in the world, okay? Everyone in every country has a challenge, no matter what, but your destiny is yours, and it's important that you stay focused on your destiny and stay focused on your path. There's some times where you can actually get blindsided and get distracted, and especially if you live in the United States, there's always going to be something to distract you and take you off of your course. but I want you to bite the bullet, stay like focused, get disciplined, increase your willpower, and keep moving forward. Okay, don't let your finances or any opinions stop you from being able to be the best version of yourself and actually moving forward on that business. It is a shame. It's quite embarrassing, actually, that you have had this LLC and it's just been collecting dust, or you have not actually, received the earnings and the sales that you truly are supposed to have. I mean, having a business since 2022, 2023, even 2024, even 2025, and you haven't made sales, no, there is no grace there. You are now into it. Once you purchase that LLC and you register your company, that means you are signing up for this game. And this game is a ruthless game. This is not a play in a park or playing in a sand line. No, this is Monopoly. And if you want to play and if you want to, not prioritize this and prioritize your 9 to 5 because you feel more safe there, then you might as well stay at your 9 to 5 and let everybody else who's willing to sacrifice and put their heads like in the game and actually go hard for it. LeBron James would not be LeBron James if he was like, you know what, I think I'm just going to stick to doing commercials and doing brand deals and like just kind of chilling, because I don't think I want to be the best basketball player ever. No, he literally put his head in the game and he trained in so many different sports so he can be able to have that specific look and also to be able to be who he is. A lot of you guys, if you guys are a LeBron James, fan, you would know that he trains like he baseball trains. He trains like a footballer, and he also trains in track, so he can have the speed. So, it's more than just his height and just his, actual balling skill. Yes, he trains at his basketball camp as well, and all throughout the year. But he does special training so that way he can have one up on all the other basketball players and be the best in the game. You, with your service and product, you have to feel the same about your service and product. Now, if you want to just have a mediocre business, then follow the blueprint and stay on that end. But majority of my followers and subscribers, I love talking to you all who have ambition, who are optimistic about going forward, and you really truly believe that you can be revolutionary and you are bringing something new to the table. You can be innovative with your service and product, even if you are getting into what's called a saturated business. I had a few consultations last week, and some of my clients, which were a lot of them were women-owned companies, they were asking me, "Oh, I want to get into e-commerce, or I am into e-commerce, but I don't want to sell candles, or I don't want to sell this, and I don't want to sell that because I think it's oversaturated." The best advice I can give you is the bread aisle. And they started laughing, and I'm pretty sure you're chuckling too because you've heard of the bread aisle, idea before. But if you haven't, if you've ever walked down the bread aisle in, let's say, Kroger's or Publix or even Walmart, and you actually see how many different bread types there is, let me tell you something. Sara Lee is not worried about Nature's Own, and Nature's Own is not worried about Sara Lee or the Walmart or Publix brand at all, okay? They know that their consumers and who they are, appealing to, they are going to shop with them. They know that they're not going to miss out on any money, no matter how many types of honey wheat bread it is, whole wheat bread it is, or white bread or potato bread, okay? Trust and believe. The bread aisle, all the competition is there, but they don't care. They know what they bring to the table, and they know that at the end of the day, their consumers is going to buy it, and these companies are still making hundreds of millions of dollars on an annual basis. So why are you worried about if this business industry is saturated when you should actually be worried about how can I bring something new to the table through my marketing strategy and through the quality of my services and products, okay? Awesome. All right, so I have a question. Is it common for grantors not to reply back if the application did not win the grant supply? Their feedback would help going forward. This is a really great question. It's actually quite common. The reason why is because they only want to talk directly to the winners. They expect you, the grant, the person who applies to the grant, so the grantee is what that's called. They expect the grantees or the small businesses to take a look at the previous winners and to go on let's say the blog that they create about the winners who actually won that opportunity. They are not going to tell you, "Oh, your answers was not good enough," or oh, like, you weren't selected because you didn't fully complete the application. They're not going to tell you that. Um, a lot of the times it's not because your answers suck. A lot of the times it's because your competitors, they are actually better businesses to fund than yours. They actually show more of a need for the grant than your business. So let's say, for example, your business is a business where you are going to help people, with, let's say you have a consulting business and you do something like you help people get housing, right? So you actually walk them through the entire process of buying their first home. So this is good for first time home buyers, or whatever have you, right? Let's say you need $100,000 because you want to get a physical brick and mortar. You want people to be able to come into your office and all of this good stuff, right? Your competition might be someone who's creating a health tech app or a health tech surveillance app that's going to help keep surveillance on like persons with disabilities, especially children, like autistic children, and their care that they're getting at home. So if your competition is something that can show more of a need for the grant, it's actually going to be more impactful and it's actually going to save lives versus you who is a consulting business that's going to help people get their first time, like their first time home buyers. Well, while your business is really cool, awesome, and it's very helpful, we would rather fund a health tech app or a health tech solution that's literally going to help save lives. You understand? So it's important to understand your competitors. The only thing about grants is that you don't know who's actually applying to these opportunities. Your competitors are not like put out there every time they submit a grant application. So when the winners actually roll out, it's very important that you take a look at the winners and what you're going to say. And I always say this, but I'm like, I go back to the grant applications that I submitted and I'm like, oh, I see why they chose this business. Oh, I see why they chose this business because this business is quite cool. It's not intimidating. Actually, it makes me want to go shop with them and support them. And what happens is sometimes I build a community with them. I'll message them on LinkedIn like, hey, I saw that you applied to this grant. I applied to it too. While I didn't win, congratulations on your win. And I really think your business is awesome. And what happens is they found out that I'm a grant writer and then they decided to sign up for my services because I decided to purchase their service and product, right? So I end up building like a community with the winners, but it doesn't intimidate me. Honestly, it's very important that you take a look at who they actually chose and then, just keep applying, right? You never know. So just keep applying. Don't tell yourself, oh, I don't have a good enough business for grants. Grants, they want to go for more health tech and fintech apps and, I don't have a tech business or whatever. No, like keep going for grants. That's why I say go for those state funded and locally funded opportunities because your competition is going to be much lower versus those nationwide opportunities. Okay. Thanks so much for your question. I really do appreciate it. She said I was a 1K winner with Hello Skip. So shout out to you. I'm so happy that you did win the grant. All right. So we have another question here. I'm aligning with sustainable entrepreneurship. Marketing has always held me back. Have always had visions for this. I am ready for major funding without loans. Do you think that it's possible? Absolutely. Absolutely. Having a sustainable business, depending on what you're going to do in that particular industry, you don't have to directly tell us. But yeah, there's always going to be a grant available. It's all about making sure that you professionally align with the grant opportunity. So make sure that when you are submitting the grant applications, that you are going for grants that align with your mission. I hope that answers your questions. Yes, you can get funded no matter what business type you have, no matter where you are located in the United States. You have businesses out here that are sustainable energy businesses, like they are creating windmills. They had grants out here for EV charging stations when that was a big thing. And all kinds of different sustainable energy grants. They have other grants for whatever you're going to do, right? But you need to clearly explain exactly what your business does and how impactful it is to your community or to the customers that you're serving or your clients, and tell them how much money you need and why, right? Where are you going to invest that money into? Be very detailed in your answers. You can find grants by visiting grantwatch.com. I did put it on the screen, so if you need me to put it back on the screen as well, I'll do it for you. Thanks so much for your question. I truly do appreciate it. You can visit grantwatch.com and you can find grants that serve in your favor. Once you find a grant, all right, then go ahead and apply to it. I highly recommend that you guys apply to one grant a day. If you are only applying to like 1 or 2 grants a week, that's kind of not like, if you can find like over 30 grants in a month, I would highly suggest that you actually apply to 1 grant a day, more than enough in a month. Because what happens is, because we know grants are not 100% guaranteed, and that the grantors is solely up to their discretion to choose the winners. So because we know that, it's important that we go for all opportunities, giving ourselves a higher chance at potentially winning. Okay, so this is kind of like the more you apply, the merrier type of thing. And also going for high probability grants to increase your chances of approvals. Okay. What more questions do I have about grants? I like this. This is super fun. Are you guys having fun? I really do appreciate you guys being here with me live on YouTube. YouTube told me that majority of you guys are actually like scrolling on YouTube at this time. So I said, oh, all right, let me tap in with my family, right? So happy that you guys are here with me. What more opportunities or more questions do you guys have for me? Go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. You're very welcome. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Don't forget that I am running a affordable grant writing sale right now through Grantfully. So you can just pay me $37 to submit a grant application for you. There is some grants out here that I talked about earlier this week and last week that you guys can actually go for. For example, like the $25,000 UPS grant, that's for everyone. The $150,000 Zoom Solopreneur grant that's out here. So you guys have more than enough grant opportunities. If you don't have the time to submit the grant, then that's okay. I'll go ahead and submit it for you. I am more than happy to actually submit these grants for you. Okay. Let's see. Yes, so true. Awesome. Thank you so much for your comment. I really do appreciate that. All right, another question says, can you apply for a building restoration for the business? Yeah, that will be actually state and local funded grants. You find those grants in your that are state funded. So let's say you live in a rural area, an underserved area, an urban area, an old town, right? And let's say your building is quite old. It probably was built in like 1920 something or whatever the case may be. Your brick and mortar is quite old. Yes, you can actually get the state to give you a grant to restore the entire business building. If you have a brick and mortar. If this is not your brick and mortar, but you actually want to use like state funds to revitalize an area, and you want to start, let's say, with a business building, let's say like an old bank that was there, and you want to revive that bank and turn it into like, a nice building that maybe someone like a plaza or someone can eventually buy, so that when they can put like a co-working space or in a cafe and all kinds of stuff in there. Well, yes, that is going to be a government-funded, state-funded grant. You can find those grants by visiting grants.gov. You will need to show proof that you have experience in doing business restoration. They don't want to give out a grant to someone, this is your first time doing this, okay? They want someone who's quite experienced, or you are going to contract with a company who is quite experienced. And when I say quite, I mean 5 years or older, quite experienced in doing business restorations, okay, and revitalizing the neighborhood. So make sure when you are applying to this state and locally funded grant opportunity, you are partnering with and you are going to contract with a company that is well known for doing business restoration in your town, okay, in your local area. So really great question, Miss Cherry. Thanks so much for joining in. I really do appreciate you being here, love. Okay, so next We should probably practice our pitches for grants also, correct? Absolutely. The more you practice, the more fluent you come in your pitches. So I practice my pitch literally all the time. When I am getting ready to do a pitch competition, or I'm going to do a pitch for investors, because right now I'm going for investment capital, right? It's not easy building a tech company. Um, I practice my pitch. And matter of fact, I practice my pitch with my husband all the time. I'm like, how did I sound? Did I sound jittery? Did I do this? And let me tell you, I practice. I practiced so much when I first created my pitch that I now know it in the back of my head. So I have a 30-second pitch where I just say it right out, and then I have like a 1-minute pitch, right? And then I have one that goes up to 2 minutes. And I haven't like the 4-minute pitch. That's really one that I just created a video for that one. So I didn't memorize that one. But 30-second pitch, 1-minute pitch, I pretty much got that down pat and I perfected it because I wanted to make sure I'm very direct and clear. The whole purpose of a pitch is to actually get them very invested and interested at first. And if they are interested, right, if they are invested, then you would allow the investors to actually ask the questions, right? You will allow them to ask the questions. You give them the floor, and then you can continue to have a conversation with them and just kind of let them know, what you're expecting and how you plan to, be innovative and all of that good stuff, depending on the questions that they're asking you. So that's kind of how like an investor's pitch goes. They do ask you some direct money questions. So you need to be prepared for that if you're going for investment capital. Like, how much money have you already invested? How much are you selling your products and service for? How much can you potentially make? Who are your competitors? How much are they making? All that good stuff. Have you started making sales yet? So in most cases, yes, you need to be making sales because they need to see that this thing actually works. If you're not making sales, then okay, then how can you show us growth? How can you show us that this thing actually works and it's needed? So you have to really explain to them if you're not making sales. I've been able to get surveys. I've been able to get, a lot of engagement. And this many people, let's say 1,000 people, 5,000 people have said that they're actually interested in it. So it's a very serious conversation because you are requesting investment capital from investors who will always be your lifeline for funding, so that way you can continue to scale your business. Pitching and practicing your pitch is going to be really good, especially for those grant pitch competitions that they require you to get on a virtual call or physically come in person and pitch your business. Yes, you want to be able to directly, clearly identify exactly what your business does and how important it is for us to purchase your products, right, and to give you grant funding. Okay, so really great question there. You're very informative. Thank you so much. This is tax season. The grantor should send recipients 1099s to file, correct? I believe that's what happens. That's a certified public accounting question. I'm not a CPA, so I'm not sure how that works. In most cases, they do send you some sort of document for filing for taxes. Sometimes they don't, because it's up to you. It's actually your requirement to report it. From my understanding, what I just do is I would tell my CPA, hey, I received X amount of dollars in grants this year, and she just puts it on my taxes. I don't have to perform I don't have to provide a 1099. I don't even request one. Some of them, the grants that I win, they do provide one in my email, but in most cases, I find myself not needing to use it. My CPA just puts in how much money in total from all the grants I won for that year, when filing my taxes. Okay. Another question. Sabrina's Boutique says, do I need to send you a copy of my business plan with the fee for writing grants? No, you actually don't, but it will be very helpful if you do. If you already have a business plan and you send it alongside with the fee, then that will be good. For the $37 opportunity, for that one, there is a grant form you'll have to fill out, so you don't have to actually submit your business plan at all. I have an entire form that you will fill out. It's very short and direct, just like general information, your first and last name, business name, start date, all that good general stuff. I have one question, like, what is your business about? And that's literally all the information I need to go ahead and submit a grant for you. Okay, so there is actually a form that you will receive after paying the $37 or after signing up for my services that you would actually move forward to. Okay, if you want me to apply to more than just one grant for you, then that is a separate service. We do have to talk more about what that quoted price would be, because that's also based off of what your entire mission is, how much money you need, how long you've been in business. So there are questions that I actually have to ask you in a one-on-one consultation. So you will have to book a $50 consultation in order for us to get to know each other a little bit better and make sure that you are the right fit for, we're the right fit for each other. But for the $37 grant fully offered, these are grants that are nationwide and for all small businesses. So, and no matter what type of business industry you're into or you qualify for these grants. So, yeah, you do have that opportunity. You can actually scan the code right here if you guys see the code. Just let me know. If you don't see the code, then that's fine. But I believe you guys see the code there. Yeah, so you can scan the code and it will take you directly to pay the $37 fee. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Have you written a book? No. Like, what do you mean by no? I've never written a book. I've never written a book ever before. Thank you so much for saying that. Any more questions? I really do appreciate you guys. I'm hoping that I'm getting all of your questions answered and all of that good stuff, okay? These are some really, really great questions. So this QR code that I have here, you can simply scan it, and it's actually going to give you the $37 option. I'm applying to grant opportunities for you for just $37 each. So that's a $37 grant application that I will submit for you and take the hassle off of you. You don't have to worry about if my answers are good enough, whatever the case may be. I'll do it all for you. There are multiple grants. You can choose up to 3 grants. Once you click the link or you go to the QR code, you can actually select 3 different grants that you would like for me to submit the grant applications for, but it is $37 each. So keep that in mind. Also, I'll go ahead and put the QR code up here in just a minute here. But if you want to book a one-on-one $50 consultation, that's fine. I'll go ahead and put the QR code up here in a minute, okay? Just let me know when you guys are ready for the code. You guys are awesome. This live was fire. Thank you so much. You were actually fire with all of your amazing questions, and thank you so much for spreading the grant love. You are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for being here. The information you provide is helpful. Thank you so much, Miss Cherry. Matter of fact, God bless you. I really do appreciate all of you all for being in this live stream with me this afternoon. Hey, good sis. Hi, Lakeisha. How are you? I'm booking my one-on-one now. Will the one-on-one include you submitting a grant application? No, it will not. Okay, but I'll submit a grant application for you for just $37. Okay, so it's like $87 total. Still less than $100 for me to submit a grant for you, and for us to also go over grants and any grant questions that you might have. Yeah, so the consultation, the purpose of the consultation, so a lot of the times I ask you a lot of probing questions, and I develop like different strategies to help you like catch sales as well, because I know the importance of showing traction and increasing your chances of approvals with grants. So we have like a pretty deep conversation. It's actually more than just talking about grants. I want to know what's going on with your business. How far have you gotten? If you haven't gotten far, I want to know why and how I can actually help out. I'm more than just a grant writer. I'm a small business development coach, and God has blessed me with the wisdom and the gift to be able to come up with business strategies that actually work, that are effective and efficient, and that helps you make sales. So booking in one-on-one consultation with me for just $50 is more than just going about grants and more than just finding out if you're eligible for grant opportunities. I'm actually here to help you, all right? And that's my entire mission. I want to help you guys get free funding, and I want to help you actually scale and start making sales, because that's very important. Okay, but hey sis, thanks so much. All right, so if you guys are ready, I'm going to switch the QR code that's up here, and I'm going to put the QR code here that you can use to book a one-on-one consultation with me. There it is. I just put it up there for you. I just changed it out, so you can go ahead and scan that QR code. If you are ready to book a one-on-one consultation with me, I offer business strategies in this one-hour consultation. We talk about a lot, okay? And I also tell you if your business is eligible for grants. We search for grants together, whatever you want to go over. This is a full business consultation that you might need to kickstart your business journey, okay? So there you have it. Thank you for clarity. I love it. Thank you so much, friend. I can't wait to see you and we talk more in our consultation. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys like the last like 3 to 4 minutes. Um, any questions that you have, please drop them in the chat. Today has been such a great and productive day. I have been very consistent in this month of February. This month is Black History Month, so it's very important to me, as it is, I'm pretty sure, for you all who are Black Americans. Also, I have been so happy and so proud that God has blessed me with the motivation and the ambition and the drive that I needed. I prayed hard for this. There has, at the beginning of the year, was kind of like focusing on Grantfully, trying to like make sure things are good, and it was quite stressful. And I was so focused on Grantfully and building that, it just kind of took me off course and showing love to you guys and showing up. So I said this month, February, the least I can do in the shortest month of the year is show up every day, no matter what, except for Sundays. Of course, I have to go to church, but I got to pray for y'all and pray for myself too. And so it's just been such an amazing, great couple of days. And the consistency, I'm very proud of myself. So, I'm hoping that, you guys are proud of yourself too, especially since the beginning of 2026. We're already in the second month, but I'm hoping that you're proud of yourself for being, consistent on, researching for your business and actually executing on the research that you have, done for your business. So I'm really hoping that you guys are just so in love with life right now. Okay, so let me see this. Okay. All right, so while you guys are putting your last minute questions, let's go over this quick grant really quick. I went over this grant once before, the Zoom $150,000 solopreneur grant. This grant is awesome, so let me go ahead and add it to the screen here. All right, so celebrating the solar trailblazers, defining the future of work. They are actually awarding 50 small business owners solopreneurs. So solopreneur means you don't have a partnership with someone else. It's only you that owns this business, and you can win $150,000. Okay, I actually have this grant listed to go ahead and submit the application for you all in my $37 offer. So if you want me to apply to this $150,000 grant, why not? It's 150K. Not only do you get 150K, but you also get visibility on the Zoom's digital platform. So they'll actually market your business on Zoom, and billions of people use Zoom. Billions of people, sorry. Community, so you get peers and mentors and experts that will help shape your business future. You get other resources too, so you might get like Zoom technologies and all the extra perks and deals that you can get with Zoom for free. So they're looking for businesses that are in technology and SaaS. SaaS is an acronym for selling something as a service. Software as a service, sorry. So software as a service. So let's say you have developed and created a client management software, like a software like Zoom, a software like Calendly, a booking system. Okay, so that's that. Creative and design. So let's say you are into like creating things and into fashion and into like candles and stuff. So there you go. Wellness and lifestyle. Yoga teachers, gym instructors, anything in wellness. If you do massages, you have like in all that good stuff. So there you go. Social impact and community. So if you are community driven, if you do things like a youth development, and you have like a basketball like type of business, right, for kids, and you might do like a financial literacy class specifically for young entrepreneurs. Professional services. So let's say you are a doctor, you are a lawyer, you are a certified public accountant, and you are filing taxes here for everybody. Other public services may also include electricians, plumbers, things like that. Education, media, and more. Okay, and more could be those who are in the beauty industry, which is also creative. If you do things like you are into, if you cut hair, all that good stuff, okay? So you have that there. That's who they're looking for, all right? Um, Nominees will be evaluated on these 5 key things, okay? Originality, so how unique or different is your idea, product, or approach? They want to know and have an evidence of growth, traction, or business sustainability. This is very important. If you are not making sales, then business sustainability could be that as well. You can explain how your business is still sustaining even not without making sales. So what are you guys doing at the moment? So just at least you show evidence of growth. You know what I mean? That's what it means. Impact. So demonstrate contribution to customers, communities, or industry. So how impactful is your business, product, or service? Authenticity. Alignment between the business and founder's personal ethos. And influence. So reach and resonance. So from thought leadership to community building, they want to know how you influence, how influential your business is. Okay. So the nomination you have by February 13th to simply apply. Nomination review starts in Q1 2026. So, after February 13th in the first quarter of the year, we're still going to be reviewing. Winners will be announced in Q2, most likely at the beginning of Q2, okay? There's more questions here, all right, that you can take a look at. Frequently asked questions. And any additional questions that you might have, you can always email them directly, okay? $150,000 that you guys should not miss out on at all, okay? You would be wild if you decided to miss out on this opportunity, okay? So you can always click the link. You can always scan the QR code. Sorry, I just changed the QR code again. You can scan the QR code and just simply submit the $37 payment, and I will apply to that $150,000 grant that I just went over, okay? Well, if there's no further comments or questions, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in this 1-hour live stream. If you have watched this video all the way towards the end, thank you so much. I hope it was very informative and very lively. I hope you learned a lot. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I really do appreciate it, please. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Usually I'm on here at like early in the morning at 8 a.m., but this morning we had some technical difficulties, so I decided to go at this time, all right? So catch me tomorrow morning on the live stream, and I can't wait to see you guys there, okay? Bye-bye for now. Thanks so much for being here.